Sports 1280 New Orleans.
Welcome back to the show. Pleased to be joined by Steve Worthy, CEO of the 4Kids Foundation. Of course, puts on the annual Zurich Classic of New Orleans, the PGA event. And Steve, I'm just going to come right out and ask because I'm getting emailed about this. Jeff just showed me a story on, what is that, the Golf Channel's website? Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, are we going to make that happen, a team or what? People, that's what they want to know.
Well, we're talking to everyone and have a lot of good conversations going. It takes a while to get guys committed, but I'm happy to say that we would not be upset if that were to happen. So we're working on our field right now, and it's coming together really, really well.
Well, Steve, I know today's a big day for you all, Media Day here coming up around noon out at the TPC of Louisiana. What's going to be your message about this year's Zurich Classic?
Well, I think just kind of kicking off the excitement. I mean, we're going to make some team announcements. The way the PGA Tour is set up, players have not yet been able to electronically, they're so used to on their phone just clicking to commit and commit. It's different to commit with a partner. So they've been working out some issues on making sure that the players can commit electronically with their partner. So the teams are just now coming together, but the exciting thing for us is have been out to a number of tournaments already this year. The reaction from players is just off the charts, and very confident saying that we will have at least as good a field this year as we did last year, and potentially even better. So we're excited about the direction it's headed, and we've been grinding for a while, but today we'll just kind of kick off some of that excitement at Media Day.
Steve, you mentioned the excitement from players. Any specifics that, say, from the previous year where there wasn't teams to last year where there were teams, anything specific that the players maybe said that you guys were really fired up about?
Well, we've always sold the city in a big way, and they know they're going to come to New Orleans and get incredible hospitality. And, our folks, our volunteers, and our foundation members take very good care of the folks at TPC Louisiana, take very good care of them when they're here. But, I think the biggest thing is just doing something different. We kind of break up the schedule from that regard, and they get to do something different. They get to pick their own partner. So, it's a mix based on last year, based on what we're hearing about guys this year. Some want to play with potential Ryder Cup partners. Some just want to play with their best friend. I mean, last year we had brothers play. You've got a lot of different varieties there. And I think just because it's a long grind of a season, the chance to do something different, something fun, and do it in a place like New Orleans, it's really resonated with them, and they're very excited about it.
Steve, I know the tournament went to the team play format last year. You had alternate shot and then best ball. Aren't you all tweaking the order of that this year? And what's behind the reasoning for tweaking that format?
Sure. We are going to change the days, kind of twofold. The biggest reason is on Sunday, TV felt like, in best ball, everybody, when you have pros playing, everybody's going to go low in the better ball of the two. But an alternate shot, you've got a little more variety in terms of, if somebody were to really go low in alternate shot, they could jump a lot of teams. So the concern from TV was, the leaderboard as it ends on Saturday will pretty much stay similar. So it gives you more movement within the leaderboard for a big finish on Sunday. Also the alternate shot piece goes a lot quicker. So if we were to happen to have any bad weather, Friday, they play a lot more quickly in alternate shot with us moving it to Friday, and that allows us to get the cut made and that sort of thing taken care of. So, I don't think it's a significant change. It will be. It was interesting last year to see a lot of guys who'd never played alternate shot, and even talking to some of the guys this year, they're more nervous about letting a partner down than they are playing by themselves and letting themselves down. So it will create some nerves on Sunday.
Steve Worthy, CEO of the 4Kids Foundation. They put on the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, of course, the annual PGA event here in town. Joining us right here on Dunc Holder. Steve, any changes of note to the course? Because we're used to seeing that 18 hole, and that's a great finish in golf, and then just some of the unique holes at TPC Louisiana. Anything of note that is going to be changing or altering or tweaked at all for this year's event?
Not really. I mean, being a TPC property and the PGA Tour being involved, they're able to get feedback from players every year. And there have been subtle tweaks on bunkering and different things throughout the years. But this year, there really isn't any major changes made. We talk about how the golf course is set up. I think last year was a perfect example. It would have, it was voted one of the top 5 most exciting shots of the year when Kevin Kisner, essentially in the dark, holed an eagle. He had a pitch from just off the green on 18 and made eagle, which ended up putting him in a playoff with Cameron Smith and Jonas Blixt. Having that kind of finish and the excitement on number 18, a lot of, you can make bogey, you can make eagle, a lot of different things happen. So, how they set up the golf course affects it some, but there really aren't any changes to the golf course itself this year.
Steve, okay, I'm putting you on the spot again. We nailed you with the Tiger Woods question. I want to know about Sam Burns, obviously a former LSU star. In his first year, he's having a great rookie season on the PGA Tour. This seems like a guy, knowing how you've operated in the past, getting these young rising stars to come in here and play at the Zurich Classic. I would think he would be on your list, at least try to recruit. It seems like a perfect fit here.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sam, Sam is exempt on the web.com tour, and he would need an exemption to play here. That said, we are certainly very interested in Sam. We've always leaned toward LSU players and done what we can to help them out. Certainly, I think he's a rising star. His performance at Honda playing with Tiger was outstanding. And so, we're getting inundated with requests. We've got a lot of different people asking and a lot of people to try to take care of. But it's safe to say Sam, he's certainly got our full attention and very interested in him.
Last question. Are you going to continue to bring back Tom Long as the PR consultant here, or are we going to finally move on from Tom? That's what we're most curious about.
That's what Jeff is definitely. It's the biggest debate of the golf world. That's what we're hearing.
Do we need a survey on do we want Tom to stay or not? We love Tom, and Tom's done a great job for us. But
we want Lynn.
Off the air, you can give me some stories and tell me what you think about that decision.
No, Lynn brings. She always has his lovely life. Lynn Long always has the nice big large bowl of candy every day, and I always look forward to getting out there and walking off the candy that I eat during the tournament every year because Lynn's always. It's just right there for us in the media
Jeff
center.
Just needs a little fun size of Twix, and he's pacified. So I think you've got Jeff as a winner. That's why he's all in on Zurich every year.
Perfect. Well, he's pretty easy then. Some are a little tougher than that, but if Twix does it, then we can certainly make that happen.
There you go. Steve Worthy, CEO of the 4Kids Foundation. Of course, they run the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, the city's annual PGA event, and lots of excitement. And definitely the fact that you've got some buzz about Tiger and Phil. How about we make it happen, Steve? Let's just say. Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Love that idea.
There you go. All right, Steve.
We're working hard, I promise you.
I know you guys are. Steve, appreciate the time. Best
Thanks,
of
Steve.
luck. And we will certainly be ready in anticipation for the Zurich Classic in New Orleans. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. All right, that's Steve Worthy. And it's amazing. The fact that that's one of the lead stories today on the Golf Channel's website. Tiger, Phil, possibly at the Zurich. Hey, it would be the hugest draw probably in the tournament's history if they did that.
Well, I think it's because Bubba came out and said, I don't know if he was being facetious because Bubba's like that, his personality, saying he wanted to play with Tiger. Can you imagine if Bubba Watson and Tiger Woods played together at the Zurich Classic, or Tiger and Phil?
Or, let's see, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Tiger, Bubba. I mean, you could get really...
Throw Spieth in there. Drop him on with
Ricky,
one of those. Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, Ricky in there. I mean, a lot of guys. I mean, Jason Duffner. I mean, there's so many guys. And that would have been my question, too, is just, there's always a talk about golf having a little bit of a gap between people who play it skewing older and people who kind of watch it but don't play it as much skewing younger, and how they're trying to bridge that gap between really like making it a fantastic event with some big names, but also bringing that youth. And Sam Burns is a good name too. Another LSU golfer who's doing pretty well on some of the lower tours, Ben Taylor. He's also, I think he's won a tournament in the last month, and he's kind of working his way up. But there's so many young players that could easily come to the Zurich Classic, make it real fun, and you already have the young names too. All these kids to make it a fun event.
Well, it's always a crazy time of year because you have the NFL draft that same weekend. We have Jazz Fest on the same weekend. So in some ways, it's they're always jockeying for coverage, but in another way, it's great because people can come to New Orleans, golf fans, go to see the Zurich one day, go to the Jazz Fest the next day, get a little NFL draft coverage as well. It's just a crazy weekend in New Orleans the last weekend in April.
I just want the draft coverage to continue from the golfers, and Sean Payton needs to invite his buddies Jordan Spieth and Ryan Palmer up again, and then they just spill the beans on, say, the Saints wanted to move up to take Baker Mayfield. Maybe they wanted Darius Geis. You never know. You never know what would happen. They were trying to trade Drew Brees for the #1 overall pick.
Well, didn't they report last year that they were trying to get to Patrick Mahomes
that
or something
was
like
how
that?
the story came out after their round on Friday, because they were in the draft war room on Airline Drive. They talked about Pat Mahomes, and Sean Payton's like, well, the cat's out the bag. So he had to admit that if Marshawn Lattimore wasn't there, that Patrick Mahomes could have easily been the pick at number 11.
And you know, it's going to be interesting. I think Saints fans now will consciously follow the career of Patrick Mahomes because they know that he was a target of the Saints. And this year he's going to be the guy in Kansas City. Yeah, and if he goes on to have like a stellar career, everybody's going to play the what-if game, although I think they're pretty happy with Marshawn Lattimore. And let me just say this real quick before anybody gets the wrong impression. I was kidding about Tom Long. He and Lynn do a great job running the media center out there. They're the best.
I don't think anyone thought you were being
I just want to make sure, be clear about that.
Have you had a tweet from somebody, or you got a text from somebody?
It was a little snarky. Sometimes it doesn't come across radio. Clyde's snark definitely comes across. I'm not sure mine does.
It's a talent, I know.
It's something. Oh, how about that? Let's take a break right here on the show. When we get back, I'm getting some Jimmy Graham reaction, and we will jump into that conversation more with Josh Katzenstein, top of the 11 o'clock hour. Also, we will jump into the Pelicans, save them for the final 30 minutes. They're going for 9 in a row. Going to take on the Los Angeles Clippers tonight, 9:30 tip. So come on back for more. Good times, good snark, sneaky snark, dry humor from Jeff, maybe. Maybe?
A little sarcasm, yes.
Great oldies.
Yes, and something like that here on Sports 1280, NOLA.com, and the iHeartRadio app. Dunc Holder.